Hi everyone, it's Mike.
And Raven.
We're about to play our second part of the tower campaign for Heroes of Might and Magic.
Yay!
Yeah, and this time we're facing off against a Rust Dragon and a Gold Golem. We have our stuff set up already. So you have the map set up already too. It's free random tiles for the 2 free and then the 4 5 ones. Starting town. First time we go to a mine, we'll read the story too, it says, for this one. And then we're off against the Rust Dragon and the Gold Golem.
Yeah, cool.
That's their... You use free might cards and 2 spell cards. And they have 2 curses. So that's their AI deck when we face them. This one goes to 11 rounds. That's why I have it marked there. So there's time limit on this.
Cool.
We already picked up our 4 starting cards. So it's from the deck we played with the first campaign. We still have those cards. You don't start off with new ones.
Right.
And then we have our starting resources. And the bonus, you could add 5 building materials or reinforce your magi. We decided to reinforce our magi.
Yeah.
So we start with the...
Bronze Dwelling and the Citadel.
This one? Okay. Start back off at level 1, 2. You don't start off at level 7 like we finished the last one.
That makes sense.
And we'll get ready to start. So we're playing on normal too, so we could pick either rolling 2 resources dice and choose 1, or we can search to the artifact deck. So we can either look at the top 2 or pick the golden bow, because that's what we have there: weakness, golden bow, and pathfinding.
Yeah.
So drop. So we like the golden bow, so I think we're going to do that instead of resources, and we're not going to search. So
I think so too. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so that will get added to our hand. And now we'll get ready to start. So our first action, we'll use a move to go over to the treasure. So we roll a treasure die and get the indicated bonus. We'll flip over the top artifact too, because we took from there. So we'll see what that one is.
Cards of Prophecy.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll put that down. And let's roll the treasure die. What do we get? Resources. So we roll, I think it's 1 resource or 2. I'll double check. So we roll a resource die. What do we get?
4 building materials.
Nice. And I have all the resources over there.
Nice.
We'll spend our next movement point to go over to the campfire so we can roll another resource die. And as a first round, we don't get any resources. The first round. And we'll roll the resource die.
2 valuables.
Nice. So we already have 5 valuables. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're going to see if we can do anything for building, recruiting, what we can do with some of our resources. I know we can only get the gremlin because he's 0 already.
Yes.
And we have the citadel, so we can already reinforce stuff too.
Yes.
But we only have our bronze dwelling right now, so we'll see what we can build. So in the city, we decided to recruit our secondary hero. So we spent the 10 gold for that. And we also built our mage guild. So we'll search 2 for the spells next. That's all the resources we used. So we'll put the secondary hero on the starting tile, because we don't have put it on the town. We don't have a settlement or anything yet.
Right.
And then we'll finish up our turn. So because we built the mage guild, we get to search 2 twice the spells. So weakness is at the top, and we looked at that already. I think we'll take that one instead of searching, because we can lower the combat strength of someone. So when we go against the Rust Dragon, that's going to come in handy.
Even against that gold golem, it might too.
Yeah. The gold golem in this one, you can't damage him really with spells, so we're going to have to go toe-to-toe to him.
All right.
Okay, so we'll grab that one. Put it in our hand, and then we'll drop the next spell, see what that one is. Magic arrow. Okay. So now we can search 2. Do we want a magic arrow, or do we want to search 2?
I think we should search 2.
Okay, so let's see what the top 2 ones are.
Slow.
Nice. And what's the next one?
Another magic arrow.
Okay, so I'm assuming we didn't want the first magic arrow, but we'll see if we'll take slow instead. So we didn't decide to take slow because the gold golem's already slow, and we're probably not going to be able to beat the rust dragon in speed.
No.
So we'll take magic arrow because we don't even have any damage spells in our hand. So, but we're going to have to use some of those in the fight because we only have a hand size of 4 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's at the end of the round. You have to go down to the size. So we don't have to go down to 4 right now.
No.
Okay, so we'll use up some of our movement points. So our main hero moved up 1. And now our secondary hero is going to move up into the first mine. He won't be able to use our cards. And he doesn't get experience for us. So we won't get experience for fighting this fight. But we can still get the mine if we win the fight.
Right.
And because we're moving on to the first mine, we'll read the first story.
A task worthy of the hero. You look over the map of the region. According to the scouts who have just left your tent, the rust dragons have taken to feeding from the mines near the town of Ochre. It's not surprising. They live and feed in sulfur mines. These uncommon beasts have chased off the peasantry, and now their livelihoods are in jeopardy. As a hero, I should do this for the town's people, you exclaim to yourself, to boost your resolve. Yet I do this to hone my skills. Where rust dragons abound, the azure may be nearby. Rust dragons spew a concentrated acid as their primary attack. This acid is capable of eating through the strongest armor. The fight promises well. When you enter a field with a mine, read the first mine section below.
So the next mine we go to, we have to read that part. Okay. So now this is a level 1 fight, I believe. Yep. So it's just 1 bronze. So we'll set up our army and see what we're fighting. So that's how we set up. And we'll draw the first bronze. Rogues. Okay, so we'll set them up. And they go to the left side of the map. That's set up. They're at initiative 6, but we're attacking. And there's no initiative tracker in this one like we do Battlefield. So this one, we're the attacker. So we get to decide. So the Magi will go first.
Okay.
So the gargoyles are going first. So we're going to make a good point. We can't even use cards in this fight because we're using a secondary hero.
Yes.
And we're not going to experience, but we're going to be able to get that mine. So gargoyle's just going to fly up and hit him. So he's going to swipe at him. His attack is free. He has a 1 shield. The rogue too, so blocks 1, so he takes 2 damage.
He's got 1 left.
Nice. And he's going to hit us back. His ability is a world one that if you have him that you can look at cards, but that doesn't come into play in this one. So he hits for 2. We'll keep it. So he hits for free damage. We block 1, so the gargoyle takes 2 damage. And he has 1 hit point left on the pack side. Magi is going to go. He hits for 4. So if we were playing spells, we would add a power to the first spell we cast this round. And he ignores combat penalties, so we won't have to worry about, if we were hitting the back row, we wouldn't roll 2 dice and choose the smallest, but he's not in the back, so it's straight dice. So 4 plus 4 straight. He blocks 1. He takes free damage. And he gets exploded by a fireball. And we win. So because that was a secondary hero, we don't get XP for that fight. But we do get the mine. So we got, right off the bat, because it's the first time we get it, we get 2 building materials, and our income goes up by 2.
Nice.
And for our secondary hero's last movement point, we'll reveal that tile. Oh, that's the other frozen one. So there's 1 frozen tile for the tower, and I believe it's either a fortress or rampart, I forget which are the other 2 ones.
Okay.
So we'll orientate that to the way we want. So that's how we're going to place it, because the secondary hero will go over to the obelisk to get some half experience, and then we'll bring our other hero over to get some fights.
Cool.
So that's the end of the round. So we'll go to the part about getting our hand size down to the right size and getting cards. So we'll do that now too. So our hand size is 4 right now, so we'll have to discard down to 4 cards. So we'll do that now. So we decided to discard some of those would be better, more late game stuff we would need. We don't really need them now, so we're going to discard those. We're not going to discard any other cards. So now we would advance the tracker by 1. So it's the astrology phase now. So we'll read that card. What's this one?
Astrologers proclaim week of the unexpected reinforcements. Each player can immediately search the neutral unit's deck and recruit one chosen unit associated with their faction for free. Each player still needs to have the corresponding dwelling built in their town.
Okay, so neutral unit.
My lord, my lady, we're at your command.
Choose one unit associated with their faction. Okay, so we can't get something that's not, because in the neutral decks, your units from your army are there.
Yes.
So those are the ones we can get.
Okay.
And we only have a bronze one, so basically we can get the gremlins. That's all that's left.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we don't use our gremlin card because that's a little different, because the neutral ones are kind of like a mix of the packed and the unpacked one.
Yes.
Because this one, gremlins start in melee, then when you pack them, they turn to ranged. The neutral ones are already in ranged.
Yeah.
So we'll just use our card, and we'll use paperweight like we did last time when we recruit our own gremlin.
Right.
Because you can have both cards, because they are different. So now we flip over all our tokens, movement, and our building tokens, and then we'll start round 2. So we use one of our other miniatures for the other gremlin when we have them on the board too.
Nice.
Our secondary hero moved up 1 to the obelisk. So we got half experience.
Yep.
Makes up for that fight he didn't get one for. And then for a secondary, for a second action movement point, he'll move right into the center of the tile because there's nothing there. I was going to move straight up with the secondary hero, but you made a good point. We can't go through those yellow bars.
Yeah, it's kind of behind the...
Yeah, if we had the pathfinding skill, we could. So we'll spend 1 movement point to go to the mine. We've already beat that fight, so we don't have to do another one. For a second movement, he moved up to go into that spot where it's a level 2 fight, so it's 2 bronzes, and if we win, we get to switch the artifact deck.
Cool.
The fight hasn't started yet. This hasn't come up too much. Before you start the fight, you can still do your town actions. Once the fight starts, you can't do anything. So before we get into the fight, we might look... We don't have much gold to do stuff, but we could do the recruit for the gremlin because it's 0, right?
Yes.
So we'll see what we can do. Also, we can also now buy spells because we have the Mage Guild.
Yes.
So we use the recruit. All we could do, because we only have two coins left. We have some building materials and valuables, but not much money.
No.
So we're going to recruit the gremlins, which are 0 to recruit, and then we're going to spend, because we have the Citadel, 2 money to pack it. So we'll have 2 gremlins on the board now.
Cool.
So we got our team set up already. And it's 2 bronzes for level 2. So we got boars and lizardmen. We just finished painting those up. So we'll put them on the board. So that's the map setup. And that's the initiative. Lizardmen are kind of slow. They have 4 hit points, but they're even before the iron golems in this one. So gargoyles are first, and this is our main hero in the fight, so we can use our cards.
Cool.
So I'm not going to use any spells yet. I don't think we'll save them because we don't want to burn through them too fast. And we have 4 cards in our hand, so we don't got to worry about using cards up.
Right.
So the gargoyle is going to fly up and hit the boar. You made a good point maybe of going and flying up and hit the lizardmen, but because of the combat penalties, but our magi doesn't suffer any.
Okay.
So I think we're good. So gargoyle is going to hit the boar. He does 3 plus dice. 4 damage. Boar has no shield, so you straight up kill the boar. Nice.
Awesome.
Boar's gone. Magi's going to go now. So it's 4 plus dice. -1. So 3. Lizardman has no shield. So he takes 3 damage. He has 1 hit point left. So we'll do our neutral gremlin first. It's ranged. It's 2 plus dice. And it's from back row to back row. He gets combat penalties. So 2 dice. Pick the lowest. 0. So he does 2 damage. Throws a knife at the lizard and kills him because he has no shield. So we won that fight. And it was a level 2. So we are not higher than 2, so we get our experience. And we get our first level because we're level 2 now. And we're going to get an artifact too. So the artifact, that means we roll the treasure die. So let's roll treasure, see what we get. Another experience. So we're at 2.5 now. Nice. We did that wrong. It's not a treasure. We searched to the artifact deck.
Okay.
So we can look at that card, or we can search to.
So it's cards of prophecy.
So what does that do?
Reroll any die or set a resource or treasure on the side of your choice.
Cool.
I think we should search.
Okay, let's search to then.
Okay. Boots of Polarity. Or an inexhaustible cart of lumber.
Cool. We need building materials.
Yeah.
So we'll see which one we'll get. Because we're trying to build up to get to our silver dwelling, I think we're going to get the cart of lumber. So that will go into our hand.
Cool.
So we did get to level 2. So we searched to the ability deck. I don't think we want Pathfinding.
Nah.
Okay. So what do we get?
Offense.
That comes in handy because we don't have any.
And scouting.
All the scout stuff. Okay. So pretty sure we're going to take offense, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Because we know we have no offense cards in our deck. And we're going to have to go toe-to-toe with the gold golem later. I think we'll take the offense.
I think so too.
So that will come into our hand. And our main hero has 1 movement point left. So we'll use that to... Because we're going to use our secondary hero next turn to reveal the tile because he's our scout. So our main hero will move back to where the obelisk is because we're going to go on our next turn to move him to the mine.
Okay.
So he's going to go back to where the obelisk is. So that's our movement points. We might use cards to, because we're going to have to discard down to 4 cards anyway. So we might use our cart, probably. We'll just decide if we're going to get 2 or 4. Because I don't know if we'll cycle through and get that card back. We're just going to use remove the card and gain 4 building materials.
Yep.
Because we're going to try to build our silver dwelling probably next turn. And it is a resource round next turn too. Next round. So we'll get 4 resources, and then that card gets removed from the game. So it's round 3 now. And it's a resource round this round too. So we'll get our resources. So we get 2 gold, 2 building materials, and we don't get a valuable yet.
Is it? No, it's 10 gold.
10 gold, 2 building materials, and no valuables yet. And then we'll pick up the resource card.
Marketplace. While passing through a small town, you find a lively marketplace. Despite all the turmoil in the world, this place seems strangely cheerful and happy. Will you stop to see what they offer?
I think we've got this one when we play them against each other. Okay.
Each player chooses one option. Roll a resource die and resolve its effects, or trade resources using trading post rules, or propose an exchange of resources with other players, 1 type of resource for 1 type of resource. Each player can propose 1 deal.
Okay, and the trading post ones, I looked at it. I don't think there's anything there we'll use.
I don't think so.
So we'll roll 1 resource and resolve the effects. So we'll do that now. So we'll roll a resource. What effects do we get?
6 gold.
Nice. So we'll grab those. And then we'll start round 3. So we had to discard down to 4 cards too. So we got rid of the golden bow because we're going to keep weakness for when we face something that can hit us hard.
Right.
Because we are kind of paperweights a little bit in this one, right? We don't... Our highest arm... Well, the iron golem is our toughest one, but our higher end guys only have 1 defense right now. So we'll get rid of the golden bow. And for his first movement point, our secondary hero moved to the trading post. We're not going to use it. For his last movement point, he's going to reveal that tile. So yeah, that's fortresses tiles, I believe. It's like marsh tiles and stuff.
Right.
So we'll decide which way we'll turn that. So that's how we're going to lay the map that way. That's a scholar too, so we get random stuff when we beat the fight there too. We can get abilities or an actual statistic card or a spell too, depending on what we roll.
Hasn't come up yet, so.
So our main hero is going to spend 1 movement point to go to that money mine. And I think we read the story before the fight. We'll see. So we entered the first mine. So we'll read the first mine story.
Right. The first mine. Expecting the mighty creatures to challenge your army, you enter one of the first dragon-infested mines in the region. But to your disappointment, rather than Rust Dragon's fiery gaze, you are met with silence and dust settling gently on your head. The mine is abandoned. But why? You dig into the mystery, and soon you learn the simple truth. There's nothing worth eating here anymore, not for them. No one can mine in these tunnels now, you murmur to yourself. The people of Bracada have kept the Quinaldians at bay by controlling the mines. Now rust dragons have taken over, and all the resources of this land will be gone, unless somebody stops them. The people are in need of help, and your skills could use some sharpening. When you enter another field with a mine, read the second mine section below.
Okay, so no rust dragons yet.
No.
That would have been kind of rough if we faced a weaker rust dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll progress with the fight. So it's 2 bronzes and 1 silver for free. We already have our team set up. So 2 bronzes, griffins, gnolls, and silver, crusaders. So we'll grab those and start the fight. So we forgot to do some of our city stuff before. We would have had enough maybe to get the silver dwelling. I don't know if enough to get the genie, but once the cards are drawn, you can't start the city stuff because you already have. We haven't rolled any dice yet, but we already know what we're fighting against.
Right.
And we couldn't add anything to the fight now. So we'll start with the fight. That's the initiative order. So all our guys are going before theirs. The Crusaders and the Gnolls are slower than I thought. But we got to worry about that Griffin going. So Gargoyle gets to go first. We'll see if we'll do any spells or cards. So we're going to play offense at the expert level. Use that. We're not going to use a spell yet because we'll wait till we use a Magi because he gives us power when we use it.
Right.
So Golem's going to fly up and hit the Griffin for +2 damage. And we draw a card. Do you want to draw the card too we get? Power. That comes in handy.
Awesome.
So the Gargoyle is going to go over and hit the Griffin. So it's 3 +2, so 5 plus dice. 6 damage.
Awesome.
So that would have went through the Crusader, would have blocked 2, that would have been 4. You would have just one-shot the Crusader too.
Cool.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
But you did kill the big chicken. Now it's the Magi's turn. Now we're going to cast a spell. So the Magi ignores combat penalties and adds +1 power to the first spell you cast this round. We are going to Magic Missile the Crusader. So we're going to Magic Missile the Crusader. We use knowledge, so Magic Missile comes back into our hand. Magic Arrow. We didn't use it at expert level because we don't have any more experts to use.
Right.
And we'll use the power. So it does it at 2 power, so it does 3 damage straight through past his armor, so he has 1 hit point left.
Awesome.
Now the Magi is going to try to finish him off. 4 damage plus dice.
+1?
It's 5 damage. During the attack roll 2 dice result. Okay, so that's not going to matter because he's not going to be able to do his ability and attack. So you did 5. He blocks 2. 3 damage goes through. Kills him.
Awesome.
So Crusader gets Fireball. So our neutral Gremlin's going to go. It's not in the back roll to attack the Gnoll.
Cool.
We're not going to use any spells. We're going to keep those. I think we're good. So he does 2 damage plus dice. 3 damage. Gnoll has 1 defense, so it does 2. It goes through. He has 2 hit points and he killed the Gnoll.
Nice.
What were you calling him? Gix?
Yeah.
So Gnoll's dead and we win that fight. And it's a level 3 fight, so it's above our level. So we get XP. Because that difficulty was a 3, we were only at 2. We actually get 2 half experience for that one instead of 1. If it's the same level, you get 1 experience, half experience. All right. And if it's higher, you gain 2.
Cool.
And if it's Azure, you automatically go to 7. Okay. So, and if it's lower, you don't get XP. So we're at level 3 now.
Nice.
So now that we're level 3, we get our hand size, you said, goes up to 5 now.
Yes, it does.
That's nice. And we search to the ability. I don't think we're going to take scouting, right?
No.
Okay, so
Water magic.
that's going to come in handy.
And necromancy.
Okay, because we're not we'll read that one. I don't think we can get it. We might get to draw another one.
Okay.
So we're going to take water magic. We can't use necromancy, but someone pointed out that you could still take it, so you could take it away from those characters.
Yeah, so if we were playing against each other again.
Yeah. you could take it from me.
You or me to get it, whichever had.
Yeah, but you can't play it.
Yeah.
So, but we're still going to take water magic. And we only have, I think only one remains in play right now. So we're going to play that now anyway. So all spells from water magic, which includes magic arrow.
Cool.
And I just noticed that weakness is a water spell.
Oh, because of the seashell. That makes sense.
Yeah. So that comes in handy.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. So you said you got the 5 gold already too?
Yeah.
So we got some resources now. So probably we'll do stuff for the city. So we'll see what we'll do to use those tokens. So we used our building token to build our silver dwelling. We had enough resources for it. So we can start doing our silver units now.
Cool.
So as last 2 movement points, we're going to move our hero over to the fire to roll a resource dice, hopefully getting gold so then we can use it with our recruitment token. And resource dice.
4 building materials.
Okay, not gold, so we won't be able to reinforce the genie, but we'll have some building materials to use for other stuff.
Cool.
And we used our recruit and reinforce to get the genies. We didn't have enough to pack them, because how much gold do we have left now?
7.
Okay, but we added genies to our army. The genies have a unique ability that instead of them doing their turn, you can discard free cards from your deck. So not from in your hand, from the ones you haven't picked up yet. Mm-hmm. And take a spell card discarded this way from your hand.
Okay, interesting.
So that's cool.
Yeah, we never did that when we used them before.
No, and the other when you pack him, I think it's when he attacks. So he gets to attack and do that ability, I think.
Makes sense.
Cool. So we'll use because we have the Mage Guild, we'll spend 5 gold, and we'll search 2 the spell deck. So do we want slow, or do we want to search 2?
We're going to search 2.
Okay.
Earthquake.
Obviously, that's an earth spell. Okay.
And another magic arrow.
Okay, I'm saying Earthquake. I don't even know what it does yet, but we'll see. So Earthquake has to do with sieges when you attack, and we're not attacking any castles in this one. We're fighting dragons.
Yeah.
Too bad we can't use it, but that's what we drew, so we'll take another magic arrow. That's cool. I didn't even know about that spell.
Neither did I.
Cool. So that's the end of round 3, so now it's round 4, so it's astrologer's round now. No resources. We'll draw the card for the astrologer round.
Astrologers proclaim Week of the Groovy Satyr. Until the next astrologer's round, whenever you trigger combat with any neutral units, you may choose a neutral unit card to discard and draw another card of the same tier instead.
Cool.
Are you familiar with Avli Melodies? Sorry, no. Well, that's good, because this probably won't sound anything like one.
Okay. Satyrs play horns, right?
Yes.
Cool. So that remains in play to the next astrologer round. So we can discard, if we draw something, we can discard it if we don't. Does it say only bronzes or anyone?
It said any neutral units. You may choose a neutral unit card to discard and draw another card of the same tier instead.
Cool. So that stays in play.
Yeah.
We only have 4 cards in our hand. You don't want to discard any? We'll keep our spells.
Yeah.
So we'll pick up 1 more. Oh, we get 5, so pick up 2 more.
Yeah. So we picked up magic arrow, all the magic arrows.
Okay.
And now
it's just spamming lightning at them? No, we're using water magic.
Yeah.
Okay. Water lightning? Whitening?
There we go.
And our tokens will all get flipped over, and it'll be start of round 4. So round 4, the first movement point our secondary hero is going to do is going to go over to the witch's hut. And we're going to look at the top ability card, see if we're going to add it to our deck or discard it.
Leadership.
We'll take that one. I think there's no reason why we wouldn't take it, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so we'll add that to our deck. And for a second movement point, we don't want him to move to the mine because then he can't use cards or we won't get experience for it.
Right.
We'll just move him over to the trading post spot. We don't have him out now, but if we use them, you can use from the battlefield the bad morale and the good morale if you use those cards too.
Right.
So for his first movement, our hero is going to move over 1 to where the trading post is, and then probably over to the scholar for a second one. So that's a level 2 fight.
Yes.
And then we get a random we roll dice and we get something random from the scholar too.
Right.
So level 2 fight. Because we're level 3, we don't have to do that fight. We automatically win. We don't get experience, but we'll see what the scholar does.
Cool.
It's in the actual Fortress expansion book. I know people were trying to find out what it was, but if you look at the back of the Fortress book, it tells you what the scholar does. So we roll 1 attack die, and depending what we get, if we get a +1, we get draw 1 chosen statistic card or remove 1 card from your hand. If you roll a 0, we draw 2 ability cards and take 1 and discard the other. And if we get a -, we draw 2 spell cards, take 1 of them, and discard the other.
Cool.
Yep. So we'll roll 1 attack die, see what we get. -1, so that's the spells. So we draw 2 spell cards, and then we pick 1.
So, Fortune.
Okay.
And Berserk.
Okay, so we'll choose which one we keep. So we choose to get Fortune, so we can re-roll a few different types of dice, right?
Yeah. And depending
Berserk
on
would be good if I was facing against you, because then we could make our other, if we don't want you to use a specific character and force them to attack someone else. But
right, and then depending on how much power you put into it is how many times you can re-roll it, which is kind of interesting.
Or we can just use it for power too if we need it.
Yeah.
So that will go into our hand. So we'll go over to the valuable mine, and I think we read another story event too for its last movement point as a level 3 fight. That's 2 bronzes and 1 copper for that fight. 2 bronzes and 1 silver, for that fight for free. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. I think we got to read another story.
As you enter the crystal mine, you hear death-filled screams that would make any other man go mad. You head towards a faint light that looks to be deep within the cave. As you approach the light, you see dragons holding a man who turns his head towards you in a faint whisper says, "Help us. Fight with the Rust Dragon's first army."
Oh, wow. Okay.
Place
paralysis
on the Rust Dragon's unit. When you enter another field with a mine, read the 3rd mine section below. After this combat, the difficulty level of every combat encounter on the map increases by 1. See page 35, field difficulty level table in the core rulebook.
Okay. So we already have to fight off against the 1st level Rust Dragon. So we'll look what that is. And we put a paralysis token on the Rust Dragon. So hopefully it doesn't get to go. So we'll set that up. So we set up our army. He doesn't get to go his first turn because he's 17. So he would go first, but he's paralyzed. So he would skip his activation.
Yeah.
But he can still retaliate. So whoever goes after him, he's going to get hit back. Mm-hmm. We already shuffled up his deck too. He's not going to get to go, so we won't draw that. So he would go, but he's paralyzed, so he doesn't get to go. So then it would be the gargoyles. So gargoyle can't get to him. He moved up free. So next would be the genie. Also, you made a good point. We don't have any more movement points left. So if we don't beat him in 1 round, we're going to get pushed back because we lose the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were worried we wouldn't have enough movement points and continue the fight. But I think that came up before. Any fight was a 0 enemy. Even if we had to go golems there, it's still a 0. Fight continues until you surrender or everyone dies.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about not having that movement point.
Yeah.
Because we were worried we'd have to get pushed back and then have to fight them again or how that works. But no, we're going to fight until one of us is dead.
Yeah.
So gargoyle moves up. Now it's the genie's turn. So I don't want the genie to fly up and get hurt because I have to get a +1 just to do 1 damage to him.
Yeah.
So he's just going to go there. He's just going to stay where he is and forgo his attack. Okay. So the Magi's going to go. We'll use our leadership card too. So we're not going to use the deck of cards from the Battlefield expansion because we didn't take them out in the first place. So we'll play with just getting the tokens. So we won't use the expertise. So we'll gain a morale token. So if you gain a morale token, what does it do?
So you can only have 1 such token at a time, and you may use it at any point in the game, also during combat, to perform one of the following 3 actions. Draw a card from your Might and Magic deck. Discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards from your deck, or re-roll a dice.
Okay. So before the Magi goes, we'll use his ability that add +1 to the power to the first spell you cast this round. So Magic Arrow would already have +1 power.
Awesome.
We're going to use Knowledge. And we use the expertise so we can play the card and we can cast another spell this round. And we get the card back in our hand. And because Magic Arrow is all schools, we use water magic, so it has 2 power.
Cool.
So Magic Arrow does 3 damage to the Rust Dragon. Here. On -1 results of the attack die, he decreases the defense by 2.
Okay.
Because he has that acid spit, right?
Right.
But luckily it doesn't have protection against magic, so it takes 3 damage. So it has 7 life left.
Awesome.
So for our second spell this round, we're going to cast Magic Arrow again. It doesn't get the bonus from the Magi because it's only the first spell.
Right.
So it's only at 0 power, water magic. We would use our expertise because we could add 3 power, but we're not going to do that.
No.
So it's at 1 power, and we're going to discard Fortune to get another power, so it's cast at 2 power. So Rust Dragon's now at 6 damage. It has 4 life left. So the Magi is going to attack the Rust Dragon now. It does 4 plus dice damage. So it would do 1 damage to the Rust Dragon. We can use the morale to re-roll that, but we still got damage through. I think we'll let it go through. So the Rust Dragon takes 1 damage. So it has 7 damage on it now. 3 life left. Nice. And the paralysis token would be removed now, but it's going to go next turn anyway.
Okay.
And it's going to come straight for the genie because it goes after the... There's no Azir, there's no gold, so it goes to the next tier, so genie.
Okay.
And it won't go after the Magi because it goes after ground or flying first before it goes after ranged.
Okay.
So the Gremlins only do 2 damage a piece with ranged, and even if they get +1, they can only do 3 damage. His shield is free, so we can't get through it. So they're just going to bypass their turn. We're also not going to move them up.
No.
We'll keep them back there. And then it goes to the Iron Golem. We'll see what he does. Iron Golem's just going to set up to help the genie once the Rust Dragon flies up.
Right.
So Iron Golem's going to go there. And that's the first round. Because it's a 0, it continues to the next one. So the Polaris token would go off. And now the Rust Dragon gets to go. So we'll draw the first card from his deck as soon as you activate them. What's it doing?
Cast a spell.
Okay.
Draw a spell and cast it on the unit with the highest armor in number 1, the player's army if it inflicts damage on special status or decreases the unit's statistics. Or number 2, the AI's army if it increases the unit's statistics.
And we're playing on normal, so it's cast at 1 power. So we only know he has 2 curse spells on it, so he's going to cast curse. The selected unit suffers at 1 power -2 to its defense. The highest defense it's casting it on.
Yeah.
So that's the Iron Golem.
Okay.
This happened last time, right? It reduces damage to 0, but that's not damage. It's a debuff. Oh, so now the Iron Golem's armor is now 0 instead of 2.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so that's cast on the Iron Golem. And then it still gets to move and attack. So the Rust Dragon would move forward and attack the genie. So we were thinking about casting weakness to lower it so it wouldn't kill the genie, but then we wouldn't have to. We don't have knowledge, so we couldn't cast another spell.
Right.
And the way to get through him, we can use Magic Arrow, and that would be able to take him out. So I think the genie will take one for the team.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so Rust Dragon's going to attack, 7 damage. We're not going to use weakness.
Plus dice.
So
6.
6 damage. Oh, so we got lucky there. 6 damage. Genie blocks 1, so 5. He has 1 life left.
Woo.
And Genie will get to retaliate. We forgot about the Rust Dragon's special rule. If you roll -1, which he did, on the attack die, decrease the attack unit's defense by 2. So his defense is -1 now.
Woo.
So he does 7 damage, 6 damage. He has 0 defense, so the 6 damage would kill him. So he does actually kill the Genie because it's not unpacked. So the Rust Dragon ate our Genie.
Woo.
So Gargoyle doesn't want to get retaliated against.
Understandably.
If we wanted to, he would take one for the team so someone else wouldn't get retaliated against. But we know the spell will kill him.
Yeah.
So Gargoyle just flew around to surround him. He's done. Magi's going to go. Then we'll do our spell this time. So we'll cast, it's a new round, so we'll cast Magic Arrow. We'll get +1 power because of water magic, so it does 2 damage. And it's a new round. So the first spell cast this round gets another power because of Magi. So it does 3 damage. And that kills the Rust Dragon.
Yay.
So because we beat the first Rust Dragon, we get a valuable.
And then experience.
Okay, on top of any other things we get too, right?
Right.
Okay. because that was a special encounter, I don't think we get another experience for fighting a level 3 fight because we didn't fight the neutral level 3 ones.
That makes sense.
So, and then we get a valuable for fighting. It just so happened the mine we landed on was a value fit story, but I think there's another mine on the other tile too. So we'll still get the resources from that one. So we'll get another valuable for the first time getting that mine. And we will increase our income by 1 valuable. So we can get 1 valuable now when it's a resource round. So we're all the movement points. So it would go to turn 5, which is a resource round. So we get our resources. So we get 15 gold, 2 building, and 1 valuable. We would pick over a resource card now. Flip it over. See what happens. What's this one?
Mage Laboratory. In the distance, you spot green smoke coming from a lonely tower in the middle of nowhere. When you approach, you are met by a lone mage in a tattered robe sitting by the entrance. Without looking at you, he says, "Tell me what you hit." The mage hiccups. "Heart desires, and I'll prepare a perfect spell for that." He gulps from a vial. "Sooner or later. For every player in the game, draw 2 spell cards and place them face up within all players' reach. Each player can buy one of these spells for 4 gold or 1 valuable. If a player buys a card, they immediately shuffle their deck and discard pile along with the newly bought card."
Oh, okay. So we'll do that. And there's only 1 player playing, so we draw 2 spell cards.
So, Shield. And Disrupting Ray.
It sounds like we got that before. Okay, we'll see what those do. So we decided to take Shield. If we had the Earth Magic remains in play, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
But we don't want Disrupting Ray. We couldn't stop the Azure ability because we can't do it. And then it would have to stop the gold golems, and you'd have to use knowledge to trigger it again. So having a shield would help.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that will go into our hand, and then we shuffle our discard pile and our deck together.
Okay.
Because of the rules on the card. Okay, so we'll draw 2 more cards. We're not going to get rid of weakness or magic arrow or shield.
Nope.
Okay, so.
Fortune.
Oh, you just shuffled them, right?
I did. And power.
Okay. All the spells.
Yep.
And then it would start round 5. So secondary hero just moved over to the observation tower, and it gets to reveal a tile adjacent to it. So we'll reveal that tile. Stable there, mine.
Yeah, windmill.
Cool. So we'll decide which way to turn that. So we decided to put it that way because everything is a higher level now, so that 2 fights are free. The free is a 4. I think that will trigger another fight with the Rust Dragon's second army, though.
Yes.
Is that mine? That's how we set it up. So for his first 2 movement points, we're going to move our main hero over to where the treasure is and roll a treasure die. Yeah, there's a fire on that tile, but it's a treasure, not a resource.
Right.
So we roll the treasure die. What do we get? We roll
2 resource dice.
Roll 2 resource dice and pick the best result.
So 6 gold or 3 gold?
I think we want 6 gold.
I think so too.
Okay. So we're at 19 now. We need 20 to be able to get the genie and pack.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. We'll move our secondary hero up to where the mine is for his last movement. So before we get to that, it's a free fight because it goes up by 1 level. We're going to see what we're going to do with our city. So we had enough materials to build our gold dwelling. We won't be able to recruit much. Oh, we might have enough to get the 369. How much is the genies?
I think it's 8.
Oh, cool. We might be able to get a genie too.
Yeah.
Or we'll save up. So because we're getting this, we might be able to get it. Well, we'll get the Naga maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to build that with our building token. So we spent the 8 gold to use our recruit to get our genies back.
Yeah.
And we have how much? Oh, only 1 gold left. And how much building materials?
2.
Oh, okay. So we won't be getting any spells this time.
No.
We get our army set up when we get into a fight because we're going to move over with our last movement point over 1, and that's going to become a free fight. So it's 2 bronze and 1 silver. Wraith, Marksman, and sharpshooters. So we'll put those on the board. So that's how the fight set up. That's the initiative. And Gargoyles will get to go first. Gargoyle moved up, and I'm going to hit the marksman. Because we don't have to attack the same tier, but they have to attack the same tier and same unit.
Right. So 3 plus dice?
Yep. 3 damage. Marksman has free life, no shield, so goes through, kills the marksman.
Cool.
So the sharpshooter that was in the Crystal Dragon fight is going to come and attack the Magi. He doesn't get combat penalties, so it's free. Plus dice, we have no cards. Oh, we do have shield or anything. Are we keeping any spells? We have weakness. I think the Magi could take this because the most he can do is 4 damage. And I have a shield, so we'd block 1. I think we're good.
Okay.
I will keep it. We kept other cock dice, so he does 4 damage. The Magi blocks 1, so he takes 3 damage. So the Magi gets 1 life left. Gene's going to fly up and hit the race. We're not going to use his ability to discard cards. So he hits for 3 damage plus dice. 4 damage. Race has 4 life and no shield, so the race is dead. The Magi would go. We would add +1 power to our first spell, but I don't think we're going to use spells because we still got 2 other range guys. Oh, this is our last movement. Okay, depending how well this goes, we might have to use a spell later on, but he does 4 plus dice. 3, so he does 3 damage to the sharpshooter, and he doesn't block any. So he has 3 life left. So Gix is going to go. He gets a combat penalty from back roll to back roll. So it does 2. -1, 1 damage. So sharpshooter has 2 life left. So it's down to paperweight. He's still... Nope, combat penalties for him. So 2 plus the worst result. Come on, 2 plus 1s. Oh, so 2. Paperweight comes in. Again, he did a good killing blow at the end too.
Yeah.
Because he had 2 life left. And he takes out the sharpshooter with his wrecking ball. Now, because the map said 2, but it was a level 3 fight, it still counts for us for a level 3 because that's what we just fought. So our experience goes up. So now we're at level 4. Nice. And we also roll the... I think it's an artifact dice. I'll double check. So that's a search 2 artifact. Do we want those boots or do we want to search 2? Yeah, I think that came up last time. If we're playing against each other, maybe we'd look at that. But we're going to search 2. What artifacts do we get?
Ring of the Wayfarer. I think I had that.
Yeah.
And Legs of Legion.
Okay, so we'll see what we pick. So the other one was good because you could paralyze units too, but you can't paralyze Azir ones.
Yeah, so
but
not super easy.
We just got our gold dwelling, so that's going to help if we can reduce the cost too.
Yeah, awesome.
So we'll put that in our hand. And then at level 4, I'll see, I think we get 2 expert points now, I think. Mm-hmm. I'll see what else happens. So we got our second specialty card. We looked up to, so your deck is your army of guys. So if we play that, we can get rid of a Magi and then replace it with an Enchanter.
Right.
And we also found out when looking at that, we can only have 5 units on the board. We had 6. So we can only have 1 of those gremlins. So we'll put Gix on the side. He's still in our army, but he just can't have, we have to have only 5 on the board.
Right.
So we're going to play the Enchanters card. So we'll discard Magi. So that would go back into, we could still get some back later. Gix is over there in reserves. And Enchanters will be added to our army. And that Enchanters card gets discarded. The Enchanters now. So they can heal people or they get +1 damage. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
When they activate. That's what that arrow means.
Right.
Cool. So that's all we can do. So it would get moved to turn 8. 6. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at, we were on turn 4?
Yeah. We're on turn
5, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Astrologer's round. So we would pick Astrologer's card.
Astrologers proclaim Week of Isra's Friends. Each player can immediately reinforce a unit on the few side at half the cost. I was all alone once upon a time. With me, I only had a knife. But now I have friends. Now I have friends for life.
Does it say immediately? Yeah, we only have 1 gold, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately we can't, because this comes before we get any, it's not even a resource round anyway. We don't have, and it's astrologer, we don't have any money, because we could have done the genies for 6 gold, but we don't have it.
No.
Unfortunately. Okay. So that was that. We don't get any resources. We do have 6 cards. We can only have 5, so we decided we're going to get rid of fortune. We don't want to get rid of anything else.
No.
Okay, so we'll start round 6. And we'll move up, flip over our tokens too. Secondary hero moved up 2, and we get another movement point for this turn. It doesn't stay with us. We figured out that last time.
Right.
And then it gets discarded at the end because you can only have 2. So he'd have 1 more movement point. He's going to spend that to go over to the windmill to get 1 valuable.
Awesome.
So he's done. We know that fights the dragon fight, so we might not want to fight that right away.
No.
Until our next resource round, till we can build stuff up, because we know that's going to trigger the second fight with the rust dragons with the gold golems, right?
Right.
So because we don't want to fight that mine yet, the first hero is going to move up 1 and spend another movement point to reveal that tile.
Ugh.
And remember, stuff is up by 1. So if it's a 4 fight, it's a 5 fight. And if it's a 5 fight, it's a 6
fight.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see how we're going to turn that. And and that's a gem pond too. So we can't go to the gem pond until we trigger something else. That's when I tried to look for that. The gem pond is the actual mine for valuables.
Okay.
So we can't go to that one yet until we do other stuff.
Okay.
So we turn the map that way. And for our last movement point, we're going to move into the windmill to get that 1 valuable. Okay, so this turn is done. So we'll go up to turn 7, which is a resource round.
Mm-hmm.
So our resources are 15 gold, 1 building, and 1 valuable. So resource card.
Market of Time. In the middle of a small town, you stumble upon a bustling and noisy market. Lured by the cheerful atmosphere, you start walking around. Each item on the display seems weird. After hours of wandering, you find yourself in the middle of the road, not sure where you left the market. When you turn around, you see just an empty road, not even a town in sight. Was all of that just a dream? Each player chooses 1 option. Discard as many cards as you want, then draw new cards up to your
Hand limit.
+2. Remove any number of ability or spell cards from your hand. For every 2 cards removed this way, you can perform search to the artifact deck.
That's interesting.
Or leave and gain nothing.
Oh, we need our spell. That would be a great card if we weren't trying to use our spells and we're spell based anyway to go against the rust dragon.
Yeah.
Because we could have got some cool artifacts. And we have some spells in our hand. I think we'll keep our spells maybe.
Yeah.
If it was me against you, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
So we'll leave and gain nothing then, unfortunately?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the best option.
And that was only for the time we drew it. It's not for this turn too, to the next turn?
Right.
Okay. So we'll flip over our movement points and we'll do round 7. So secondary hero is going to reveal that tile. We already know where the gem pond is. And it was interesting because we said, I don't know if that's a typo in the book, that you can only go to the gem pond if you have captured free mines. We've already captured free mines, so can we skip the other one already? That's weird, right?
I think so too.
So we'd actually skip a whole fight. Oh, there's an obelisk.
There's a few things.
Cool, so we'll see how we'll put that. So for his last movement point, he moved over to the water wheel and got us free gold.
Yeah.
Obelisk does nothing in this one. And then there's a spring there that we get it, discard cards and put it back in our hand, but we don't need any, so that's where he moved. Now what's our main hero going to do? So we're going to use Legs of Legion to create our own Titan.
Yeah.
So 4 less, so it only costs us 14. That reinforces insane, 32. And
I agree.
that's the first gold unit, though, we've had on the board that wasn't Squirmus.
Yeah.
The other one. So We'll get the Titans, and now we know you can only have 5, so I think that's a good upgrade. Paperweight will have to leave and go with Gix
I think so.
on the side, and we'll have our Titan. So there's our Titan, and Paperweight, the Gremlin, left at packed. It still stays packed if he decides to come back, right?
Right.
So, and then Titan will be on our... So that's how we're going to lay out our army so far. And we still got 3 more points for our main hero. So we decided that before we get to the mine, we're going to go over to the Witch's Hut. It is a 4 fight, but it gets switched to a 5. So we'll see what that does. So it's 1 bronze, 2 silver, 1 gold. So that's one of the tougher fights we've done so far.
I think so.
So 1 bronze. Dragonflies, those are new.
Yeah.
We painted. Silver. Vampires. They're a pain. They can heal. Minotaurs.
Yay.
And the gold. What's a tough one here? Trolls. More. Oh, it's a healing army. They heal free at the start of activation. That's rough.
Ooh, yeah.
But no shields. Okay, so we'll put those on the board. That's the start of the fight. And the gargoyles get to go first. Then vampires and dragonflies. And that's the initiative. So gargoyle will fly up and it's going to try to attack the dragonfly. 4 plus dice.
3 plus dice, you mean?
Oh yeah, free. Hopefully we want a 4. Get +1.
Nope.
-1?
Yeah.
Okay, so he does 2 damage. Dragonfly has no shield, so he has 1 life left. And then he can retaliate. So dragonfly is going to hit me back. Oh, 3 damage. I block 1, so I take 2 damage on the gargoyle. Has 1 life left. Vampire gets to go. It's silver, so we'll go over to the next closest silver, which is a genie, so it's going to move up and swipe at the genie. So you don't get to retaliate against a vampire, then it would heal 2. It's already at full life anyway, so it does 3 damage plus dice. So 3 damage to the genie. It blocks 1, so the genie takes 2 damage. So dragonflies would go after the closest bronze, which is the gargoyle. 3 damage plus dice. 0. Block 1, 2 damage. So 1 damage would take it off a pact, and then we'll take 1 more damage on the other side. Gargoyle gets to retaliate. Now that he's in few, he only does 2 damage plus dice. -1. Oh, retaliation attacks against the dragonfly suffer -1. So it's -2, does 0 damage.
Boo.
So those little dragonflies are resilient too. It's the first time we used them.
Yeah.
Cool. So the Titan could walk up and one-shot the troll if we get a +1, but if we don't, it can heal. So, and we'd lose those wounds we do to it, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll go after the Minotaur, get it off the board.
Yeah.
So the Titan's going to walk up and lightning stab the Minotaur.
Yeah.
So this does, what's this? Ignore remains in play effects on this unit. Okay. 6 plus dice. Yep, see, we wouldn't have killed the troll. So it does 5 damage. The Minotaur blocks 2. So that's 5, 4, 3. It does 3 damage to the Minotaur. The Minotaur has 4 life. So he has 1 life left. So Minotaur's going to strike back. 3 damage plus dice. Ooh, +1, 4 damage. Titans block 3 of that. So 1 damage goes through. So Minotaur retaliated. Titan's done. Trolls are going to go. It's going to go after the closest gold because that's a gold one. So that's a Titan. So it's going to move over and attack the Titan. So at the start of its activation, it heals 3. It's already at full life. And it does 4 damage plus dice. And now before it rolls, are we going to play any spells? I think we'll wait.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4 damage. I block 3 of it. So I take 1 more damage on the Titan. Titan hasn't retaliated yet, so it's going to retaliate against the troll. So it's 6 damage plus dice. This is where you want the +1. Okay. But he doesn't get to regain it towards the start of his turn, so that's good.
Yeah.
So 5 damage total. He has 2 life left. So the genie can fly, so it's going to fly over 2 to attack the troll to should take it off the board.
Yeah.
So even if we roll -1, unless there's somehow you miraculously get a -2, yeah, of course you roll -1. So that does, he has no shield, does 3 damage, -1 is 2. So 2 damage would kill the troll.
Awesome.
Take it off the board. So that troll's a little annoying too. I think that shows up with a fairy dragon too, the trolls.
Makes sense.
So the Minotaur won't strike the Titan, but it will go to the closest silver unit, which is a genie, so it's going to go and attack the genie.
Okay.
So that does free plus dice, and its ability lets it re-roll -1 outcome on the die. Wait before we roll, because he can get a 4 on dice at the best. It would -1, so a free. It would make his life a 5. He'd still survive. Okay, I was wondering if we should still use shield or weakness.
Okay.
But he'll still survive his best possible hit.
Okay.
So I think we won't use it yet.
All right.
Okay, that's not a 0, so he does 3 damage, -1, 2 damage to the genie. So the genie has 4 damage now, with 2 life left.
Okay.
Genie now gets to retaliate. It does 3 damage plus dice. We're not going to play any cards. Minotaur blocks 2 of that, so the Minotaur takes 1 damage. Oh, it already has 3 on it. Minotaur gets genied. It's dead.
Nice.
Now we get to test out our new enchanters. So when they play, remove 2 damage from a friendly unit. Doesn't even have to be next to them or anything, so that helps.
Yeah.
And enchanter, or they get +1 damage. So we'll see if we're going to heal. Because what do we got? We're not going to heal the dragonfly. We can heal the titan, but he's pretty good. Genie's looking rough. The vampire is going to go straight for the genie, and it can fly.
Yeah.
But if we give +1 damage to the enchanter, it could one-shot the vampire.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to do... You think that's the best bet? Give them +1 damage? Because then we could possibly do 6 damage if we get busted on the dice.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not going to heal. It's not at the back range, so there's no penalty. So 5 damage plus dice to the vampire. 6 damage. That's where we need a +4. So vampire has no shield, has 5 life, so it's dead. Enchanter paid off.
Yeah.
Now our Iron Golem finally gets to go.
Yeah.
It reduces damage. It came in handy in that last fight because it absorbed the spell, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to move up 3 and try to punch the dragonfly. Okay, so 3 damage plus dice.
+1.
So 4 damage. No defense on the dragonfly. So he squished the dragonfly. And we won that fight. So that encounter was 2 above us, so our experience goes up by 2. So we are now at 5.
Yes.
I forget if we fought a fight that was higher. I can check later, but we're already at 5 now, so
Awesome.
we'll get the rewards for being level 5. So we don't want necromancy.
No.
So what do we get here?
Water magic.
We already have one, okay. But then we could burn through another one if we need to.
And Eagle Eye.
Oh, I know that kind of sucks in the game. Okay, we'll see what they do. So we put water magic in our hand, because if we burn through our expert one to use that, we'll have another one to put out.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on that map tile, which one we draw from the ability deck and we decide to keep it or discard it. So we'll draw the top card.
Wisdom.
I'm pretty sure we're going to keep that. I forget what it does, but we're keeping it anyway.
Cost of buying spells in the town is reduced by 2.
Okay, we'll keep that.
And then more.
And then, did you say and then more?
Yeah, there's more.
It does other shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then more.
Okay.
We're keeping that.
It does other shit.
Shit we need. It's useful.
Okay. The cost of buying spells in town is reduced by 2 when buying spells from your mage guild, do search 3 instead of search 2.
Yep, we need that.
Yeah. And then buying spells in town reduced by 2 when buying spells, search 4. Yeah, that's good. Well, that's going to come in handy.
Yeah.
So we have 2 movement points left. We'll move into the mine, which will trigger the next story event. The 5 gold one.
Okay.
So we'll trigger the story for the 3rd mine.
The 3rd mine. It's been a long trek through the mountains and trees. On your travels, you come across a very old man lying on the ground. With a bandage over his head and a sling around his neck, he looks to be unconscious, if not dead. Closing your eyes and shaking your head, you decide to rid the land of the dragons that did this. Knowing you well, some of your men volunteer to bury the body. You cannot just leave him there to rot. Still, even the tiniest delay invites the risk of losing track of the enemy. So you choose one. Weaken one of your units from a pack to a few, then gain a positive morale token, or gain a negative morale token.
So we already have a positive morale token from before, so I think we'll just gain a negative morale token, which would get rid of our positive morale token.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
While you're hiking through the mountains, you see a glint of reddish-orange in the not-too-distant sky. As you walk up to the mine, you feel a slight breeze. Seeing the dragons land, you smile at your precise timing. Nobody but the dragons will get hurt this time, you tell yourself. Fight with the Rust Dragon's second army. When you enter the field with the gem pond, read the final confrontation section below. After the fight, you can enter the field with the gem pond.
That's kind of it. You can fight after the gem pond, and then after you can fight in the same. Look, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay. Good.
Oh, I think what it's getting at is that it says that we can do it, but not until after this fight. That's kind of what they were trying to say.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so we'll set up the fight for the Rust Dragon second army, right? It says?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to ready to fight the second Rust Dragon's army.
Yeah.
And what we forgot was I was editing the video before, because there's a 0 unit in this fight, if you beat a 0 unit, you get automatically pushed to level 7. So we, from the first time we fought him, we should be at level 7 already. But after we finish this fight, we'll get pushed to 7.
Okay.
Because it says in there, the counter, if it includes any Azirs. And this does, even though it has a gold in there. So after this one, we'll go to 7.
Okay.
So the Rust Dragon's going to go first. So we'll pick up one of the AI cards they do. Attack. And we're in normal, so he gets +1 to his attack. And then he's going to move up to fight the Titan, because there's no Azirs on the table, so gold's next. So that's a Titan. So right now he's attacking for 8. The most he can do is 9. Lucky we block free damage. Are we going to play a spell yet? Because we want to be able to hit him with our magic arrow. So, and he's going to have 2 life left, even if he gets the best. So I think we'll wait, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
So 8 plus dice now?
Yep. Okay, so 8, we block free. 7, 6, 5. He gets 5 damage. Titan has 8 life. And the Titan's going to retaliate. So, Titan does 6 plus dice.
Nice one.
So 5, he blocks free. So Rust Dragon takes 2. And he rolled a 0 without a -1, because if he rolls a -1, he did that before. He wrecks our armor too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So look, the Enchanter might be able, we can heal the Titan if we need to too.
Yeah.
But Titan's going to go. But we're going to probably cast a spell first, because we don't have our Magi in this army yet, so we don't have to worry about waiting for him to do our spell.
Right.
So we're debating if we were going to cast Magic Arrow.
Yeah.
And we could do free damage to him, but then the Titan attacks, but then he'll get retaliated on and get some damage. So we might keep our spell to give us some defense when we get retaliated on.
Yeah.
And then use the Genie's ability when it goes to hopefully get a spell. So Titan's going to attack. It's 6 plus dice. Rust Dragon blocks free of that. So he takes free damage. So Rust Dragon has 5 life left, and now he's going to retaliate. So before he retaliates, we're going to play our weakness spell. Water Magic makes it has 1 power, and we're going to use our power statistic card, so it's -3. So right now he's doing 7, 6, 5, 4 damage plus dice. Come on, we want a minus. Nice. So that's free damage. Titan blocks free. No damage gets through.
Awesome.
So that helped out.
Yeah.
That weakness spell really helped. Now it's the Genie's turn. The Genie could move up and attack the gold golem, hopefully getting some damage through. But I think we're going to use his ability, discard free cards from your deck, take a spell card, discard it into your hand.
Okay.
So we discard free cards. Ooh, the bow, that would have helped. Nice, lightning bolt, that comes in handy. I forgot we got that. Enchanters. So we'll lose in the Enchanters card and the bow, which sucks, but we'll get lightning bolt, so that helps out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I forgot we kept that from last game.
So we're going to discard these.
We don't get to use it right now. It just goes to our hand. And the others get discarded. And that's the Genie's turn. Gargoyles are going to go. They can't even do any damage to the dragon. If they get lucky, they might be able to poke at the gold golem. So they're just going to fly up, and I'm not even going to attack because of retaliation. He'll retaliate back to them. We'll fry him up and try. If he gets a +1, he'll do 1 damage to them.
Yeah.
Under retaliation, they kill him. Okay, so the gargoyles are going to fly up and try to hit the golden golem. So we need a plus here. Oh, minus does nothing, because then he does 1 damage. Golden golem blocks 2. No damage goes through.
Okay.
Golden golem gets to retaliate. So he does 3 damage plus dice. 4 damage. -1 is free. That kills the gargoyle. He tried, but gargoyle's dead. So even though we still have those 2 gremlins left in our reserves, because we can only have 5 on the board, they don't show up now.
Okay.
Unless you're doing house rules that they're reinforced that way.
Yeah.
But no, they don't come onto the board because we have them there. Next time when we set up our army, we can use them once we get others.
Okay.
So now it's the Enchanters' turn. The Enchanters are going to go. We're going to use we're thinking about doing the +1 damage so we could poke at the golden golem, but we want to heal our Titan.
Yeah.
So the Titan will get healed by 2, so it only has 3 damage on it. And then the Enchanters will attack the golden demon, the golden golem. So 4 damage plus dice on the gold golem. Is that a plus or minus?
It's a minus.
So that's 3 damage. He blocks 2, so 1 damage on the golden golem. So Iron Golem's going to move up to attack. Okay, so we're looking for a plus. He does 3 damage plus dice.
Nope.
2 damage. He blocks 2, so no damage goes through. And he's already retaliated, so he can't hit us back.
Yeah.
Gold golems would go. They would target the Titan because that's the next tier, but they can't get to him. So then they would target the next tier that they can get to closest, which is the genie, because Iron Golems is only bronze, genie is silver, so they'll go after the genie.
Okay.
So gold golem does 3 damage plus dice. 0. Genie blocks 1, so that's 2 damage, and he's still alive, and he gets to retaliate. Genie does 3 damage plus dice. There we go, 4 damage. He blocks 2, so the golden golem takes 2 damage. So now he has only 3 life left. So that's the round. It's a 0 fight, so we don't need movement points to continue, so it goes on to the next round. So the Rust Dragon's going to get to go, and it's going to target the Titan. So we got to see if we're going to use we got Lightning Bolt. We might have to save that. I don't know if we're going to do a defense spell or if we're going to use Lightning Bolt this turn. We can't target we could, but the golden golems block 2 damage from spells, so it's ineffective to cast spells at them.
Right.
So, Rust Dragon gets a card. That's another Might one, so he gets +1 to his attack.
So he's at 8.
Yeah. So, we gotta roll this attack. I think we decided we're gonna keep the shield for later. We'll want to hit him with Lightning Bolt, because that's a guaranteed damage.
Yeah.
But this might kill the Titan.
So, plus dice.
What is it?
-1.
Oh, I think that's what we needed, because that does...
Cancels out the card.
Yeah, cancels out the card, so he does 7 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that too. That's on a -1 results of the attack dice, decrease the defense by -2 to 0.
Oh, no.
I forgot about that too, because we knew if we rolled a minus, we could have survived the attack. But now his defense is now at 1.
Yeah.
He does 7 damage. So he blocks 1, so that does 6 damage. It goes through, and it will kill the Titan.
Oh, boo.
Because of that ability. So he basically used this poison breath to kill the Titan. Too bad his ability remains in the play effect. His ability is going to remain in play effect.
Right, yeah.
So Titan goes down. So it's the genie's turn. I don't think we'll use his ability again because we got some spells. He might poke at the golem, hopefully. But we're going to cast Lightning Bolt now at the Rust Dragon. So we'll use Lightning Bolt. It's not water magic, so we don't get a plus for it. So we'll discard Magic Arrow and Shield to give 2 power, so it does 4 damage to the Rust Dragon. He has no damage prevention from it. So he takes 4 damage, and he's at 9 life. I mean, he has 9 damage, so 1 damage left on him. So genies are going to go. We're going to try to poke at the golden golem.
Okay.
We need a plus to actually get... Oh, no, he does 3 damage, so 3 damage plus dice. Plus will be helpful.
Ooh.
No, minus, so that does 2 damage. He blocks it. So Golden Golem doesn't take any damage. It's going to retaliate now. It does 3 damage plus dice. We block 1, we take 2 damage, so the genie has 4 damage on him now. So the enchanter could heal the genie, but we want that plus 1 damage from his ability, because even if we flop our row, the damage would go through and kill the dragon.
Right.
So he's going to do his plus 1 damage for his ranged attack. So he's doing 5 damage plus dice against the rust dragon. So 0. He blocks free, so the rust dragon takes 2 damage and kills him.
Awesome.
So the enchanter killed the rust dragon. So that's kind of handy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Golem's going to go and move up and attack the gold golem. Oh, 3 plus dice. 4. He blocks 2, so he takes another 2 damage on the gold golem. So the iron golem's doing good, poking at him. He only has 1 hit point left, that gold golem.
Yeah.
That's the end of the round. Even though the Azure model is off the table, the round started with 1. So the fight started with 1, so we still continue to go.
Right.
And the initiative order now is Genie's, Enchanters, Golem, so we don't got to worry about the Rust Dragon going now.
Right.
Yeah, we forgot the Gold Golem gets to go.
Yes.
So he's going to attack the highest tier closest to him right now. Oh. It's ground units attack ground or flying units, then range. So even though the Enchanter is the higher unit on the board, yeah, I believe he would attack the Genies because they're a ground unit. I'm going to double check that. So he's going to attack the Genie. He does 3 damage plus dice. 0. Genie blocks 1, so that's 2 damage. That kills him though. 6. He's not in pack, so the Genies are gone. So this was a rough fight too.
Yes, it was.
So now it's the Enchanter's turn. We'll do the plus 1 damage on it. So that's 5 damage plus dice. 0. He blocks 2. So that's 3 damage. So that kills the gold golem. So the Enchanter killed the Rust Dragon and the gold golem. He was helpful for sure.
Yeah.
We were worried about losing our Magi for him, but he proved his worth.
Well, that little bit of healing, even though the Titan did die, was helpful.
Yeah, so they're a good unit.
Yeah. So
we won that fight. So now that we beat the Azure fight, we'll get pushed to level 7.
Okay.
And we'll also get the mine, which is a... Oh, it's a 5 gold mine too.
Yeah.
So we'll get all that stuff, and then it'll be the end of the turn, but we'll show you what we got. So now the fight's over. We already had those. They'll come back into our army. We're probably going to get, in the building phase, more guys, because we haven't used our building tokens yet, or recruit, so we might be able to get stuff back already.
Yeah.
But they'll come into your army now. So if we're getting to level 6, we got our Enchanter's last card. So we increase your initiative by 2 or double if it's Enchanters or Magi, so that's good.
Yeah.
Now that we get to level 7, we search 2 of the ability deck. I don't think we want Eagle Eye.
No.
Okay, so we'll search 2.
Estates.
More gold. That come in handy building stuff. Okay.
And artillery.
That's if we haven't got the artillery stuff out yet. We have cards for it and stuff, but we'll see which one we're going to keep. And our hand size is now increased to 7 too.
Yes.
So we decided to take estates because we need gold to build our army back up.
Yeah.
And we still have building, recruit, and spell tokens left in the city to do. We have no more movement points, but we can do some other stuff. So we'll see what we're going to do. So we're going to use estates right now and use an expertise and gain 6 gold. And you can use that any time. So I don't know why you would use it in combat or other times, but it's an instant one, so we can cast it now. I'm surprised that it's not a world event card.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6 gold for us. So we're going to spend our 13 gold and use our recruit reinforced token. And we'll get the Nagas. So they're pretty good. They're like vampires that do ignore retaliation attacks.
Which is cool.
Does 5 damage to fast 2. Nice. 7 life. Cool. So we'll get the Nagas. We'll use our last free gold. So that estates helped.
Did.
And our expertise to buy spell. What the cost of buying spells in this town is reduced by 2. So instead of 5, that's why it's only going to cost us 3 gold.
Right.
And when buying spells from your mage guild, search 4 instead of search 2. So we're going to do that. So Disruption Waves are okay spell, but it can't affect the Rust Dragon. And then you could turn off the Golden Golem's ability, but then you need another spell to go through. So we're going to search 4 both times. So we'll look at the top 4.
Fireball.
Okay.
Counter Strike. Another Fireball.
Okay.
And Shield.
Okay, so I'm taking Fireball already, but we'll see which one we'll pick first. So we decided to take Fireball. Counter Strike was okay too, but...
Yeah, I think in certain situations it would be better, but in what we're dealing with, Fireball...
yeah, we need to take damage. It won't affect the Golden Golem too much, but it's certainly going to hit the Rust Dragon?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to go in our hand. Now, when you search 2, you pick one and you put the other discard card on top of the discard pile.
Okay.
When you searched 4, we picked Fireball. What order do you put the spells back? That's what we're trying to figure out. Do you get to decide? I tried to look and it just talked about search 2. I'm going to double check again about search 4. But if not, we're going to put Fireball back on top because we can decide to search another 4 or take Fireball.
Yeah.
So let's decide that now too, because do you think we should... Oh, but we don't know if we get to keep Fireball. If we were going to, are we going to search 4 or are we going to take Fireball? What do you think?
Just in case we got chain lightning or something shows up, maybe we should search.
Okay, so I'll check the rule after and let it know, but we'll search 4. Okay, so.
Stone Skin.
Okay.
Resurrection.
Nice. We can use that even though we're not Necropolitus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing that came up when I got the email today. They're supposedly reefing the Cove. They talked about bringing that faction too. So I don't know if there's going to be models for that. So that's going to be cool.
Yeah. Blind.
Nice.
And View Air.
I don't know if that's going to... Oh, it gives us resources.
Yeah.
But okay, let's see what we're going to pick. So there were some good spells in there. Blind is really good, but it doesn't affect the...
Azura.
Yeah. So, and then the Gold Golem usually, well, it's pretty slow, so we don't need to worry about paralyzing it. And then the Resurrection, we needed high power to bring stuff back. So we kind of need gold now, so we're going to take View Air, actually. And we're going to cast it right now to get free gold. Because it doesn't cast... It's a world event. We can still do stuff now. So we'll get free gold and cast that spell. So, can't do anything else. So we'll go into turn 8. And that's an Astrologer's round. So no resources. So we'll pick up an Astrologer's card. What's this one?
Astrologers proclaim Week of the Scorched Ground. Until the next Astrologer's round, all spells from the Earth Magic and Fire Magic schools are cast at a +1 power.
That helps with our... Oh, we didn't get... Too bad we didn't get Resurrection or Stone Skin, but it's going to help with our Fireball.
It is.
Okay, so we'll put that on top. And we'll have to remember that too.
Yeah.
That comes in handy. No resources, but we'll flip over all our tokens, and then it'll be round 8. So we have up to 7 cards in our hand we can have now. We were thinking about discarding Water Magic because we already have one, but we plan on going to the spring, so the top 3 cards in our discard pile, we can look at and pick one. We saw... Do you want to show? It's only View Air, Wisdom, which will come in handy, and Estates. If we get rid of Water Magic, we're going to bury Estates.
Yeah.
But then we would still have Wisdom. We can get more spells. So what do you think? Are we going to bank on Estates, or we can get back Wisdom to get... We can search the spell deck.
I think we should get Estates because we need a little bit more money to try to pack some of our guys.
Yeah, because do we need spells or do we need guys? I think we need guys right now. If we had more in our army, maybe we'd get Wisdom. Yeah. Okay, so we won't discard Water Magic, and we can get up to 7 cards now. So what did we get?
Archery.
Okay.
Power, which is good.
Come on, knowledge. knowledge.
Precision.
Okay, that's 6, one more. I don't know if we have another one, actually.
Orb of Vulnerability.
During this combat, negate all units' special abilities related to magic. Oh, that will take out the Golems one, because that's reduce any spells we get. Yeah.
Cool.
It goes better. Cool. And in the third Rust Dragons army, there's 2 gold golems.
Okay.
So that's our cards. And then we'll get into round 8. So the first movement point, like we said, the secondary hero is going to move into the spring. And then we can look at our top free discard. And you said we're going to get estates, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll grab estates. Secondary hero would move into the other mine. That's not another story one, because when we go to the gem pond, there's another story.
Yes.
It would be a 6 fight because it's +1 because of the scenario. But we are level 7 now, so we automatically get that one.
Cool.
So we get 5 gold right off the bat, and our income goes up. So we got 25 gold now in the resource round next turn. Nice. So we're going to use our expertise and use estates to get 6 gold. Our main hero just uses free movement points to move over to the sanctuary. And we also put a marker on the windmill. We did go to there.
Yeah.
Put it. I checked. And we're just setting, I didn't go into the fight because we're setting up for the next round to get our resources. In round 9. So then we'll have more resources to go into the fight. We have till the end of round 11. So if we really wanted to, you could keep going till round 11 to get to our next resource phase to build up our army.
Right.
We can just go back and forth at spots or whatever, because there's nothing else on the map that we can really capitalize on. There is that shrine, I think, that gets spells. That gives us artifacts, but negative morale, which we don't want right now. And then the tree, we can get experience if we spend stuff, but we're already at max experience, so it doesn't come into play.
Yeah.
You can't, unless you house ruled and does bonuses, you can't get past level 7. So now we'll use some stuff in the city with some of the stuff we have. We don't have building materials, so it's probably going to be just recruiting, or maybe if we get magic, we'll do some cards. So we'll see. So we used our reinforce and recruit token to get our genies and our magi back. Do we have any money? That was all our money, right?
Yep, that was everything.
We didn't have enough to pack them, but then Paper Raid and Gits are going to move out, and the other 2 are going to move in. That's all we can do. We only have 3 building materials and 2 valuables, so we're not going to build anything else.
No.
So it would go into the next round, round 9, which is a resource round. So we will get 25 gold, 2 building materials, and 1 valuable. So we'll flip over the resource card.
Cursed Swamp.
I saw that said cursed shrimp. Okay.
On your journey, you wander into a swamp. Only after some time do you notice the eerie atmosphere surrounding this place and the eyes lurking just beneath the water's surface, eyes of the dead. Your army trembles in panic while you gather your thoughts. Will you force them to go on, or maybe shield them with your magic? Each player chooses one option. Gain negative morale, then roll 2 treasure dice and choose 1 result. Or remove 1 or more spells from your hand. If you remove at least 2, search 3 the artifact deck.
Mm-hmm.
Or discard your cheapest unit.
That'd be our iron golems, okay.
Or only 4, that's Necropolis, right?
Yeah.
Reinforce 1 of your bronze or silver for free.
Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so we'll see what we're going to do. So our whole army includes the ones that are in reserve, because we only have 5. We picked the 5 to go on the battle.
Right.
So poor Gits and Paperweight were not in the fight when we go on, but they're still included in our army. So I think we're unfortunately going to have to sacrifice Gits. He's going to take 1 for the team.
Yeah,
So
sucked into the swamp.
Sorry, Gits. He's going to come back as like Swamp Sling or something. Swamp Goblin.
Yeah.
So we'll discard the neutral gremlin, because it's still part of our army too.
Gets the swabbling.
Swabbling.
Yeah.
I know, we're not going to find a model to paint for that, the swabbling.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to remember too, we get +1 to our spells. I don't know if we'll get into the fight this round or actually push it to around the last round so we get the most out of our resources.
Yeah.
So we already know we can't really do anything on the board. Oh, we'll see about that shrine too. The secondary hero can move. He's going to move into the obelisk. And then we'll see about that magic shrine, what that does. So we're not going to take resurrection, because the astrologer's card is going to be gone if we don't use it this turn, because it's going to change at the end of this round.
Right.
So we're just going to search 2.
Bloodlust.
Okay. Or
Blind.
another blind. Okay, so we'll see what we're going to pick. So we're going to take Bloodlust because we want to get more. That would be good on the Naga if we cast it on it. So I think we're going to just camp now and build up till we get to the last resource rounds of the fight. So this main hero could just go back and forth with his movement points or whatever. He's just going to stay in the sanctuary.
Yeah.
So he'll be done, but we're going to use our recruit and reinforce to get some titans. So we're going to spend 18 to get our titan back, which means the iron golem's going to go off the board because we'll take him off. I don't know if we'll take the genie or the iron golem.
Genie flies and the iron golem doesn't.
Yeah, iron golem was good last fight.
So.
If we were fighting against more magic, maybe we'd keep the iron golem.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take the iron golem out, bring in the titan. We have no more movement point. Well, we have movement points, but he's just going to go back and forth, whatever. We're done with that.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the round. So it's round 10 now for the astrologer round. And we'll pick up the card.
Astrologers proclaim week of the Charlie and his circus.
Okay.
At the beginning of this round and the next one, each player can draw up to 3 cards from any neutral unit deck, and that's the S in brackets, and recruit one of them. The players must still pay the recruitment cost and have the corresponding dwelling in their towns.
Ooh.
Shuffle the remaining cards back into the respective decks afterward.
That changes things a bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, hero. Don't you want a balloon? I, hero, am Charlie, the dancing clown. There are orcs, trolls, and all sorts of surprises down here, and balloons too, all colors.
They're playing off it.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's funny.
Nice. We have it. Do we still have it miniature? I think we do. So we had 8 cards in our hand, so we're going to get rid of water magic because we already have water magic staying in play. We're going to keep all our other ones.
Yeah.
I think they come in handy.
Yep, I think so too.
Okay, so we're not going to draw any more cards then. So then it would start round 10. So we only have 7 gold at the beginning of the round. We'd only be able to, I don't even know if we could get any silvers. And all we would be wanting to replace is a genie for something better.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to do it
No.
right now. Maybe next round at the beginning when we get more.
Yeah.
So same thing with this round. There's nothing on the board. The secondary hero could go get the tomb there, but I don't want negative morale.
Yeah.
And getting artifacts. If we had a way to get rid of negative morale and stuff, maybe. So again, we just veto our movement. That'd be the end of the round. So we would go to turn 11 now. We'll just keep that one in there. This is the last round now, so we have to get shit done now.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll get our resources. So 25 gold, 2 building, and 1 valuable. So we'll flip over the resource card. What's happening now?
Withered Hermit. You found the humble dwelling of a withered hermit. The hermit tells you he is willing to give his treasure to the first wise person he meets. Each player chooses one option. Name a resource that will not show on any of the dice, then roll 3 resource dice. If you're correct, resolve one of the dice. If you are wrong, choose one result and subtract it from your resources.
I think we got this one before.
Yeah. Or roll 1 resource dice. You may pay the indicated resources to search to the artifact deck or leave and gain nothing.
So roll 1. You may pay. Okay, you don't have to.
Yeah.
So we might as well just do it because it says may. We don't have to do it.
Right.
So we'll roll 1 resource for building. We're not going to be building anything this round because we're going into the fight. So do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll pay the free building, and what do we do? The
search to the artifact deck.
Okay. And what artifact's at the top there?
The Ring of Wayfarer.
What does that do?
So for the combat, your selected unit gains +1 initiative, or as an instant at the start of combat with neutral units, put a paralysis token on any unit except Azor's.
Oh, we can paralyze a gold golem. Search 2. We might get something. What do you think?
I think we should search 2.
Okay, we'll search. Something good.
Torso of Legion.
Okay.
Or Greater Knoll Flame.
That always shows up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see what we'll get. So Torso would have been good. We actually have 32 coins, so we actually have enough to just get the Titan.
Yeah.
But we're going to get the Flail because we want to do more damage. And then we'll probably just reinforce the Nagas and the Magi. So we could have had enough. We were actually had enough to get to the Titan, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been able to force anything else, but so that will go into our hand. So we had to discard a card because we had 8, and we're never going to go faster than the Rust Dragon, and we're already faster than the Gold Golem, so we don't really need faster initiative.
Right.
So we'll discard Enchanters. Okay, so we are going to move into that fight to finish getting that Rust Dragon, but we're going to do some recruiting and reinforcing first. So we'll spend our token and see what we're going to recruit and reinforce. So we're going to spend our gold to get Naga and Magi reinforced. We'll get our change of 2 coins, and then they will be reinforced for the fight. So now we'll initiate the fight in the gem pond. Move over, and then there's a story for that one too. So the final confrontation this one is?
Yep.
Okay.
You approach a gem pond swarming with dragons. A wave of nauseating, acrid stench hits your nostrils, forcing your breakfast back out. You immediately cover your mouth, desperately struggling against the urge. Not without an effort, you finally manage to contain yourself. Some of your men are less successful, though. The smell is excruciatingly bad. The sun is beating down on the blood covering the sulfur. The dragons have done a number here. You push forward. When you are about to enter the pond, you are almost run down by an avalanche of prospectors. A quick glance, you take notice of how battered and broken the people are. Not wanting them to suffer any longer, you quickly run in to slay the dragons who are tormenting them. Fight the Rust Dragon's third army.
Okay, so we'll see what that is. All this time I said it was only 1 Rust Dragon. It's 2 Rust Dragons and 2 Gold Golems.
Yep.
You want to double check that to see what it... Oh, crap. What is it? Okay, let's see.
Third army. 2 Rust Dragons, 2 Gold Golems.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, this is going to suck. Okay. I thought it was only 1. So, those 2 Rust Dragons are going to come at us first.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you ready? You got everything? So, for the first Rust Dragon, defense. Put this card on the unit that has to activate next when this unit is about to be attacked. It gains defense, basically. Oh, crap. Okay, so the dragon's going to be buffed.
Okay.
So for the initiative, I just put another Azir card and another gold card to let us know that that's the order of initiative, too.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made. I thought there was... Okay, so Rust Dragon's going to fly up 1, 2, and go after the Naga because that's the closest one. Okay, lucky we packed that one. Maybe we should have packed the Titan. I'm not sure. We'll see. So it does 7 damage plus dice. We weren't going to... Oh, plus there. We're not going to play any cards. Does 8 damage. The Naga blocks 2. So it takes 6 damage. Ouch.
Yikes.
And it has 1 hit point left on its pack side. Ow.
Yeah.
So it has 1 life left. And then the other Rust Dragon is going to go.
Ugh.
But the Naga gets to hit back. So Naga does 6 damage. And now we might play a card too. So on the retaliation, we're going to play the instant Greater Nose Flail. She's going to be -1 defense, but that's okay. We're also going to play Bloodlust to get more damage. And we're going to use the Expert from Power to get +2, so she's +3. So she does 5 damage there, plus her 6 damage, so she's already at 11, plus dice. So 11, come on, plus. So she's at 10. He has a free shield, so that's 7 damage, and he has another one, so that's 6 damage he took. That was a nice retaliation from her, though.
Yeah.
So he takes that damage. Okay, so it's the other Rust Dragon now. It can't hit the Naga, so it's going to fly up and come at the Titan. Okay, card Rust Dragon is going to attack Titan. 7 damage plus dice. No cards we're going to play. Did you just roll already?
Yeah.
+1?
Yeah.
So 8 damage. He blocks free, so 7, 6, 5 damage to the Titan. He's still alive, though, and he's going to hit back. So Titan hits back, 6 damage plus dice. Nice, 7 damage. He blocks free, so 6, 5, 4 damage to card Rust Dragon. Okay, we're not dead.
No.
Now we can go.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I thought when he activated, he would have been able to draw a card, too. You want to draw that one for me? What did he draw? So his cast a spell and target the unit with the highest defense in the player's army. If it inflicts damage or special status, so that is curse, it does special status. Cast at 1 power.
Okay.
So we will cast Cursed on the Titan because it has free defense. It would have minused his defense by 2, so he would have took actually 2 more damage because he would have been cursed, unfortunately. So he's at 7 hit points, so he's almost dead. And that's what would have happened once we played the card. We got to remember, even, I don't know if we did that, did we forget with the gold golems? Even when the gold golems go, it's still part of the unit, so they draw a card too.
I forget.
Yeah, so we got to remember that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Nagas get to go now because they're fast and doesn't suffer retaliation, luckily. So the Naga is going to attack not card Rust Dragon. We don't have any. Oh, we'll play some cards too. So we're going to play Orb of Vulnerability, and during this combat, negate all unit special abilities regarding the magic. The gold golems have that reduce all damage from spells by 2. I'm pretty sure that relates to magic.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep that in play. And now we can cast magic at the gold golems.
Cool.
Nagas are going to attack not card Rust Dragon. So 6 damage plus dice. 0. He blocks free of it. So free damage goes through. He's at 6. He has 1 life left. And he can't retaliate because of her ability. So I don't want to get hit back hard from the Rust Dragon and die.
Yeah.
We have a better chance of getting retaliated from the golem. So the Titan's going to go up and hit card gold golem. So 6 plus dice. Plus 1. So that's 7 damage. He blocks 2. So that's 5 damage to that card gold golem. So he has 1 life left.
Awesome.
And then he'll get to retaliate. So he does 3 damage plus dice. Minus nice. So that's 2 damage. Hits him back. He has a free shield. So nothing happens to the Titan.
Awesome.
So that worked out. So the genie, I don't think he's going to do his ability. He's going to fly up and try to poke at the other gold golem. So he does 3 damage plus dice. He blocks 2 of it. So 1 damage goes into that gold golem. That gold golem is going to get to attack back. 3 plus dice. 2, block 1, so Genie takes 1 damage. Magi is going to go. Our spell would get plus 1 power, but we've already cast a spell this round, so we're going to play Archery. So he gets plus 1 damage. So he does 5 damage plus dice. On the Rust Dragon, that's at only has 1 hit point left. Minus 1, so it does 4 damage now. He blocks free, so 1 damage gets through. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it kills him.
Awesome.
So the Magi fireballed the Rust Dragon and killed that one. Nice. So we're just going to switch it over and put it where the card one is. So represent that. So there's no point for the Enchanter to heal the Titan because even with the heal, we have no buffs to buff him up. He's going to get eaten by the Rust Dragon.
Okay.
So he's going to do his plus 1 damage and attack the Rust Dragon. So the Enchanter is going to go. And that archery actually remains in play for this combat round.
Which is awesome.
So he'll get plus 1 to his damage. We're not going to heal the Titan because he's going to die anyway. Even so, he'll get plus 1 more to his damage. So he's doing 6 damage plus dice. We're going to target the Rust Dragon. So 6 damage plus dice. 0. He blocks free, so he takes 3 damage. He has 4 on there. So he has 7 damage now. Nice. So that gold golem would go. It would go after the next gold unit, which is none. It can't get to the Naga or the Titan, so it's going to target the Genie. So it does 3 damage plus dice to the Genie. 2 damage, block 1, so 1 damage goes into the Genie. And it has only 2 damage now. Nice, so it's still alive. It's going to retaliate. So it does 3 damage plus dice. Gold Golem blocks 2, so it takes 1 damage. So that one has 2 damage on it too. So the other one's going to go. That can hit the Titan, so it's going to target the Titan. We have no cards to play. So it does 3 damage plus dice. Ooh, so 4 damage. It blocks 3, so it will take 1 damage. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it does do enough, so it does kill the Titan. So Titan can't retaliate, unfortunately. So gold golem took out the Titan. So we forgot the cards again. So the first golem would have, when they attacked the genie, this is the card that would have came. It would have had +1 attack. So the genie would have had 1 more damage on it. So we'll do that. So genie is 3 damage now. And then the other one that just went would have picked up a card. Cast a spell. It would have cast a spell on the Titan, and that Titan died already, but Curse would have been cast on the Titan.
Yeah.
Titan would have been super dead then. And then Curse would have been played, and then they just get shuffled up again. There's only 2 spells, the same one in this one, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But that's what would happen if we wouldn't have any more spells. They would get shuffled again into a new spell deck.
Okay.
Same thing when we run other cards, we get shuffle them again and go through them again. So now it's a new round. So that's the initiative order that Rust Dragons get to go, and it's going to target the Naga. Okay, so that Rust Dragon's going to fly over, and that Naga already has -1 defense because of the card we played before. So it's going to fly up and target the Naga. So 7 damage plus dice. 0. Naga blocks 2 of it. So that'd be 5 damage. And it's only -1. Yeah, it only has 1 life left anyway. So no matter how much damage, it would have went through and killed it. Oh no, it's in pact. I forgot that was pact.
Yeah,
okay, so let's go. So it's 7 damage. Didn't roll negative. It's already -1 to its defense, so I only have 1 defense. So 6 damage goes through. So 1 damage would go on this side and 5 on the other. Yeah, I was worried we were going to lose our other gold, but I forgot it was in pact. So Naga's going to retaliate. Does 5 damage plus dice. We're not going to play any spells. Blocks 3 of that. So 2 damage goes in. So it's at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Has 1 hit point left. Nice?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it actually goes over to the Naga's turn. So Naga's going to hit the Rust Dragon. Don't have to worry about retaliation because even on her normal side, ignores retaliation. No spells cast. So 5 plus dice. -1 is 4 damage. He blocks 3 of it. 1 damage goes through. It has 2, 4, 6, 9. 1 damage goes through and kills it. So the Naga took out the other Rust Dragon.
Cool.
Nice. So the genie can only do 3 damage, but it's going to hopefully try to get a plus and hit the gold golem in front of it. Come on. Oh, nice. So he does 4 damage. The gold golem blocks 2 of it, so 2 damage goes through. And it has 4 damage, so that one has 2 life left. The gold golem gets to retaliate, though. So it does 3 damage plus dice on the genie. -1, so it does 2 damage. Genie blocks 1, so it takes 1 damage. Still has 2 life left.
Awesome.
Magi's going to go. This is where we're going to cast a spell. Because it starts on its activation, +1 power to the first spell you cast this round. So we are going to cast Fireball now and target those golems. And because of our Orb of Vulnerability, they can get targeted by it now without minusing 2 from the damage. Because that's their ability.
Right.
So Fireball would have hit them and did 2 damage, and the painted golem only had 2 life left, so that one's dead. And the card golem only had 1 life left, so it killed that one. So the Fireball would have been able to do 2 damage because we had 0 power, but at the start, the Magi would have added +1 power. And then we discarded Precision to add another power. So it does 2 damage. So those 2 gold golems would die from the Fireball. So we won that fight.
Fantastic.
Nice. So we beat that actual scenario. Was there anything we had to read after it?
No, let me check.
So even if there was any discrepancies with that Orb of Vulnerability card, even with our range, the Magi would have been able to take out one of the golems and the Enchanter would have took out the other one.
Right.
We even rolled it off. They would have been killed too. So at the end of the scenario, we pick our cards to do to the next one. We put some aside and we keep 5 of them, I think. So we'll go through that again and show you which cards we're going to keep till the next one, where we actually have to face off against, I think it's Fairy Dragons and Trolls.
Okay.
So at the end of the scenario, we take out our statistic cards, our level 1 specialty card, and we put the other ones set aside. And then from our deck, that we had of all the cards. We pick 5 of those to continue with us to the next round. So we'll do that and show what we kept. So after going through everything, we decided to pick these spells. Oh, we picked Magic Arrow. Instead of Magic Arrow, we could pick Bloodlust if we wanted to. We put that was one of the last cards we decided not to take. That does direct damage though. Bloodlust just adds to it, so it doesn't go through seals.
Direct damage is probably a better idea.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
So that's what we picked. The other ones got put aside because we're up against a fairy dragon next and the trolls in that fight in army, I think. So we don't got to worry about too much about that orb of vulnerability we used. We don't got to worry about dealing with that.
Yeah.
So that's what we took, plus the other ones. And then next time we play, we'll do the fairy dragons. But we might do a co-op next time before going back into this, because I know people were talking about wanting to see that. So maybe by that time we'll have some Rampart stuff painted up, and maybe we'll play Rampart and Tower, or I don't know. If anyone, we'll use the ones we have painted up. So either Necropolitis, Castle, Tower, or Rampart. So
if you have any requests, let us know.
Yeah, in the comments if you want to see what's teamed up.
Thanks for coming out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.